A wonderful day, even though it's a bit colder here in Germany, where we want to do a camera comparison, the Honor Magic 6 Pro against the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. So let's get started. On this beautiful day here, I'm walking with my daughter and we have some camera specifications that we can compare. Two 50 megapixel cameras, the main camera sends an ultra wide angle on the Honor Magic 6 Pro, and the highlight is the telecam 180 megapixels, whereas on the Huawei we have a 50 megapixel, we have a 48 megapixel tele and a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle, and then we also have front-facing cameras there as well, housed in a notch and a triple kind of hole there on the Mate. And I think we start off with the front-facing shooters. The Honor Magic 6 Pro's front-facing shooter can record 4K 30 frames per second, sadly no 4K 60. And we have two zoom sliders here, 0.8 times, which is by default, and 1 times. And the cool thing is about the Honor Magic 6 Pro that we also have autofocus on this camera. So I can hold the camera here of the Mate 60 Pro in the lens and it's focusing. Not only the white balance changed there, but also the focus has changed. So what do you think about this one? It's one of the better cameras for sure when it comes to the front-facing video recording capabilities on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. And this is our recording with the Huawei Mate 60 Pro, and this one has 3 different zoom levels here, 0.8 times by default, which it looks to be a bit wider and a bit more punchy, at least on screen. Then we have a wide option, which looks like this. Pretty wide, isn't it? And I think it is a little bit more shaky there. What do you think about this one? And we have a 1-time zoom option. Sadly, there's no autofocus on this one, but we have 4K 60 frames per second recording capabilities on the Mate 60 Pro. So what do you think of the Mate 60 Pro's front-facing camera? Definitely also very, very good. Main camera sensor on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. It's closing up the aperture a little bit there, I think, so it's not recording with the widest open aperture there. And we can record 4K 30 and 4K 60 frames per second. When recording or during the recording, I can switch between all lenses. So let's switch to the ultra wide angle. There we see a nice animation there. I'm now on the ultra wide angle. So what do you think about the colors and the stabilization? And what we will do is we try to perform a little zoom test there as well. So I go to this little viewing port here, and what we will do is try to zoom in on those chimneys there in the background. So there we go, and I can directly go to 2 times, which is a crop on the main sensor, and 2.6 times, and then I have a slider to zoom in. So this is now 10 times the maximum that you can go on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. So what do you think about this one here? Now I'm recording with the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. This one has also a pretty large sensor, a little bit smaller kind of sensor, and by default also variable aperture, but you have more variety, more different stops, the f-stops that you can choose here. And by default it's, I think, recording in f2 that we have here on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. I can record 4K 30 and 4K 60 frames per second, and I of course have the possibility during recording switch to the ultra wide angle, and it also has a nice animation. So I'm now on the ultra wide angle. So what do you think about this one here? How is stabilization? How are the colors here on this one, especially HDR as well? And now let's take a look at this little viewing spot here. And again, we want to zoom in on those chimneys there in the background. I have a 4 times zoom option there, which switches lenses to a 3.5 times zoom option. And I can go to 10 times here. So this is the chimney there that we saw also on the Magic 6 Pro. And I can zoom in up to 15 times, which is the maximum here on this device. So what do you think about this one here? Front-facing videos, quite interesting. Both struggle a bit with HDR. I think the Mate 60 Pro has it a bit better there, especially when you go like back there and compare the beginning there with the beginning here. I think the Mate 60 Pro is doing a bit better there with HDR, but we have this red kind of face issue on the Mate 60 Pro, I would say, and a bit less contrast there, where it's a bit more yellowish, the face there, which makes sense because the sun is shining from the from my right side. And we see also very much more punchy colors on the Mate 60 Pro. So the opposite that we see in terms of photos, and more realistic kind of green colors on the Magic 6 Pro, a bit more contrasty again, a bit more desaturated, less contrasty on the Mate 60 Pro, and both get pretty wide there as well, and close up as well. Autofocus on the Magic 6 Pro is definitely a win for the Magic 6 Pro, and yeah, overall I think I like the Magic 6 Pro a bit better because the colors are better there in terms of front-facing video, where the Mate 60 Pro has a bit too punchy colors there, and the face color is therefore also a bit like too red there. It's exaggerating the reds there, although I like the more less contrasty look on the Mate 60 Pro a bit better than the Magic 6 Pros here, at least on the front-facing camera. Main camera video, and boy oh boy, what's happening with the Magic 6 Pro. It has like overdone everything. Like HDR looks a bit weird. Let's go into full screen. Look at my, what's going on here? Like the blue looks totally fake. My face punchy and punchy colors everywhere, a bit soft all over the place. I don't mind the softness, to be honest, but the color punchiness, it's the reverse of what we had with the front-facing camera. The Mate 60 Pro has a more realistic colors. Also the face color, even though it's a bit reddish, it's a bit sharpened up for sure, maybe over sharpened even. And the bokeh is not as pleasant as it's on the Magic 6 Pro. The colors are wrong on the Magic 6 Pro. What is happening here? It's way too saturated, the colors here on the Magic 6 Pro. And yeah, it doesn't get better there. Maybe a bit too dark on the Mate 60 Pro, one could argue. And it is a bit soft, definitely on the Magic 6 Pro. I don't mind the softness, to be honest, because I like it, my video not to be over sharpened looking like it is on the Mate 60 Pro. Especially you can see here, ooh, there's like noise already going on because it's so sharpening things up there. But colors, Magic 6 Pro is totally off. I look goofy, I look clowny there. And it doesn't get really better when I go to the ultra wide angle. What we first can see is the ultra wide angle has less dynamic range in video mode than the Mate 60 Pro. We can see again the overdone colors because you can see how much punchiness they put in. So my jacket looks blue instead of like more black like on the Mate 60 Pro, where it's like more greenish. Everything is looking more greenish there, but the punchiness, look at the yellows there. It's totally overdone on the Magic 6 Pro. And the overexposure there, of course. Yeah, the Mate 60 Pro is not the best there, but it has better HDR for sure than the Magic 6 Pro. When we then turn around, you can see again a little bit less contrasty look on the Mate 60 Pro then. It's still too punchy colors on the Magic 6 Pro. And here you can see also like the exposure issue. You don't see so much. There we go. You see how much better the HDR is, and compare it with here. Overexposure on the Magic 6 Pro with the ultra wide angle, where we don't have overexposure on the Mate 60 Pro. So yes, the Mate 60 Pro is working better. This is 10 times zoom Mate 60 Pro, and we go to, let's go, there we go, 10 times zoom versus 10 times zoom. What we can see here again, a bit more contrast look on the Magic 6 Pro. A little bit maybe of overexposure there, a little bit yellow, warmish kind of colors on the Mate 60 Pro, a bit more cooled down here. We go to 100%, you can see there's a bit of color noise going on. Detail level is nice. There's a bit of maybe sharpening artifacts already, a bit noisy, could be. Look at this color noise there. And compared to the Mate 60 Pro, it's definitely a bit softer. It doesn't have those color noise issues that we saw earlier, but it's also way softer and lacking a bit of detail. So yes, there's still the superiority of the Magic 6 Pro visible in video there with the telecamera. It's just a better sensor there, but it is not as big as it was in terms of photos, especially at night time, where the Magic 6 Pro was definitely beating the Mate 60 Pro. Or at daylight, when you zoom in further above 10 times or 10 times, yeah, even 10 times, it was beating the Mate 60 Pro for sure when you go to 100%. So yes, in terms of video, Magic 6 Pro wins. Otherwise, the Mate 60 Pro is the winner. Slightly over the Magic 6 Pro, because we have also weird shit going on in the Mate 60 Pro, like a bit too reddish kind of face that in this example maybe not so much. Because like I'm comparing against the Magic 6 Pro, like looks totally goofy with my face there because it's overdoing it with colors. But yes, the Mate 60 Pro's video performance overall is a bit better than the Magic 6 Pro, even though I like the Magic 6 Pro better on the front-facing camera for sure. Both phones offer an authentic or original kind of color mode. So we have a vivid color mode and we have a textured or authentic mode here. And I will choose the natural one here on the Honor Magic 6 Pro, or original on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. You can see we have also vivid and we have bright there, but I will stick to the original and here on the Mate 6 Pro. Let's take a look at the photos. On the left is the Magic 6 Pro, on the right is the Mate 60 Pro. And what is quite interesting, taking this shot with the main camera sensor, is, and there you can see the heritage of the Magic 6 Pro, both use a 24mm sensor, not sensor, lens actually, but they're cropping in a little bit to 27mm. So both are using this 27mm. What's quite interesting is we have the larger sensor on the Magic 6 Pro, that should give us a little bit more light intake. And if you see here the difference already, we have a bit of more contrasting look on the Magic 6 Pro. It's sticked to f2 at ISO 50, where the Mate 60 Pro went to f1.4, so its largest aperture opening. Both have the possibility to change the aperture here, and they decided differently at ISO 50 what to do. Otherwise, both produce 12.6 megapixel images, so this is what you get out of there. And what we will see here is, of course, like I said, not only more black, deeper kind of blacks, more contrasty look on the Magic 6 Pro, but also more saturated. Look at the green grass here and compare it with the Mate 60 Pro that sometimes also looks a bit maybe overexposed, but for sure is that it's a bit too punchy on the Magic 6 Pro. And you will also see it here in the background, where the Mate 60 Pro appears to be a bit sharper, which is another thing that is quite apparent. The Mate 60 Pro does a bit of more sharpening things up. You can see it's a bit over sharpening here, the green grass for sure. But I think, and you can argue, that the bushes and the trees look a bit more sharp and not over sharpened too much, I would say. And it looks a bit soft on the Magic 6 Pro, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but I think they try to keep it a bit more soft in general. I don't think it's a lens issue because it's soft all over the place, so they are not sharpening up so much as they did in the past, which leads sometimes to over sharpening artifacts and such things. So yeah, both are doing a good job. You can see it's still a bit over sharpening there. It's a bit more on the Mate 60 Pro for sure. The other thing that you will see definitely is a color white balance difference. So we have much warmer colors on the Magic 6 Pro and a bit of more bluish kind of colors, more whitish kind of colors here on the Mate 60 Pro. We see it especially in the sky. When I go in here maybe, and we can see here the difference, how much bluer the Mate 60 Pro looks like, appears here. This is a bit of a difference that we can see definitely here in the color balance between those two on the main sensor. Then when we go to the ultra wide angle, what we will see is it's getting much closer than what we had on the main camera sensor in terms of colors especially. It is still, when you go here to the side, a bit cooler on the Mate 60 Pro than on the Magic 6 Pro. That has a bit more warmth to it. Look at the pavement there as well. But in general, the colors are much closer together there. Look at the sky there and compare it with the sky here. It's much closer. You could even argue eventually that maybe a bit more saturated on the Magic 6 Pro again. When it comes to sharpness, here I think the Mate 60 Pro is overdoing it a little bit with sharpness. I have to say, I like it. There's more softer look on the Magic 6 Pro, which looks a bit better there. When you go to the sides here to see, especially the edges, the softness, both have the softness. Both, interestingly enough, have the same kind of focal length, 13mm. We have f2 on the Magic 6 Pro and we have f2.2 on the Mate 60 Pro. Of course, it was a sunny day, so both decided 50 ISO is okay. And this is what we will have here. As you can see, yes, a bit more sharpened up, a bit more details here maybe was visible on the Mate 60 Pro, maybe artificially done. So a little bit softer there on the Magic 6 Pro. Overall, pretty similar. I cannot really see a winner here. Both are maybe slightly like overdoing it here, especially with the trees, which looks like a bit artificial here and a bit more artificial there. Very close together. Now let's come to the telezoom lens, and on first glance it looks a bit better on the Magic 6 Pro. This is now 10 times zoom here, 270 millimeters on both. We have f3 on the Mate 60 Pro and we have f2.6 with a much larger sensor on the Magic 6 Pro. It's not only higher megapixels but much larger sensor. For some reason, however, it chooses ISO 100 where the Mate 60 Pro can keep it at ISO 50. I'm not sure, maybe it's using RYB sensor here. We get a 12 megapixel image out of there, and we see again a bit more warmer kind of picture and a bit more bluish kind of picture, and you will see already a bit softer and wishy-washy kind of picture, washed out picture on the Mate 60 Pro. And yeah, it's a bit sharper definitely on the Magic 6 Pro. But if you go to 100% here, what we will notice is that the Magic 6 Pro keeps doing this weird processing here that is sharpening everything up to oblivion almost, and adding some ghosting around all the edges there, the white space that you can see there. And here the trees, it looks very artificial, where the Mate 60 Pro looks very soft. So it's also not the best here in this regard. So it's the opposite basically of what the Magic 6 Pro is doing. It's also not very good. And yeah, I would say both not very good. You can still read the text here against war, crisis, and so on. Or I think it's written there. And yeah, heavily edited, heavily sharpened up. And here keeping a bit softer. Choose your poison, both not very good. When it comes to selfies with portrait mode, you have to activate it on the Mate 60 Pros by choosing a background, and it only works with the one-time lens. This is why it's a bit more cropped in, so we have 27 millimeters instead of 25, which the Magic 6 Pro shows here. And the Magic 6 Pro, you don't have to choose a background to get this blurry background. It will do it automatically if you enter portrait mode. Both are very similar. Again, you see a little bit more punchy colors there with the greens on the Magic 6 Pro, a bit warmer face color for sure, which I like actually on the Magic 6 Pro, where the Mate 60 Pro keeps it a tad little bit more dull. I think the Mate 60 Pro is overdoing it a little bit with me, with my eyebrows there, and the sharpness overall. You can see this redrawing stuff, even my eyes look a bit weird, where the Magic 6 Pro looks more natural. That's for sure. The colors of my eyebrows, it's not overdoing it with the eyebrows. The color of my eyes, the little like effect that the Mate 60 Pro tries to add, it works sometimes for sure on the Mate 60 Pro, but not in this case. I think in this case it's clear that the Magic 6 Pro has the better picture. Otherwise, like the cutouts, it's a matter of taste. It looks like a bit like rough cut it out here on the Magic 6 Pro, where it's also a bit weird still on the Mate 60 Pro, but at least the Mate 60 Pro tries to gradually get this bokeh there, this bokeh effect going, where it is a bit of a rough cut on the Magic 6 Pro. Main camera sensor again, to show you again, it's pretty similar with those here. And the only difference is really the warmth, as you can see in the pavement, but also just to see if it like was a blunder with the pretty unsharp kind of picture on the Magic 6 Pro. This is really a huge difference. I think the Magic 6 Pro should add a tad more sharpening here, in my opinion, because it's like just looking not good, I have to say, just too soft in this regard. And I'm not sure why it has to look this soft. I think the Mate 60 Pro is maybe a little bit overdoing it here in terms of sharpening. But yeah, if you want to crop into your shots, definitely the Mate 60 Pro gives you out of the box the better, sharper picture, where the Magic 6 Pro is a bit of soft for sure. And yeah, I have to see if I will maybe change my ranking there, because the Magic 6 Pro is currently ranking with the main camera sensor a bit higher than the Mate 60 Pro. In terms of colors, again, more punchy colors on the Magic 6 Pro, a bit more realistic on the Mate 60 Pro. So their original or natural mode that they use, I lean towards the Mate 60 Pro when it comes to the accurate colors, and I said it already with the initial firmware, but the Magic 6 Pro is still on the initial firmware, so I hope they will improve it with future firmware updates. Ultra wide angle, here it's quite interesting because here usually we have more contrast on the Magic 6 Pro. It's the opposite. The Mate 60 Pro has a bit more contrasty kind of look, and the colors are pretty similar as well. Look at the blue in the sky there. Even I would say a bit more warm against on the Mate 60 Pro. Detail levels and so on, we know already the Mate 60 Pro is sharpening things up a little bit more there, but it looks pretty good. Again, here it looks a bit, it doesn't look too, the background, yes, but the light post, the lamp post there looks a bit tad sharper there, a bit softer here, and the same goes for the foreground there. It's a matter of taste, I would say there, but I prefer the Mate 60 Pro in this regard a little bit better there, also because the colors are more right and accurate, as you might have guessed. Towards the side again, we have a bit of softness there going on both. Both are not very good. They're more saturated on the Magic 6 Pro, and yeah, this is what you will get out of their two sensors. I think they're pretty good, pretty damn close, just with a slight preference towards the Mate 60 Pro here. Now let's check out the zoom lenses. In theory, when you take a look at the sensor sizes and what they really use there, the Magic 6 Pro should be the winner in terms of telecams. But in reality, sometimes it's different. Let's take a look at the telecams when they're used in their first configuration, let's say it like this. It's 68 millimeters on the Magic 6 Pro, so 2.5 times zoom, where it's 95 millimeters on the Mate 60 Pro. And we have 2.6 and f3 here on the Mate 60 Pro. ISO, both kept it on 50, and both, by default, I was not using tap to focus. You see a bit brighter on the Mate 60 Pro, but it could be because it's a bit closer down, and the closer you get, you will see the brighter the picture will get, because it's doing average metering, I think, here on both by default. And yeah, it's a bit dark and dull. But when I zoom in and 2.5 and 3.5, even if I go in a little bit further to see the difference there, it's not really a significant difference in terms of colors, I would say. It's a bit darker on the Magic 6 Pro, yeah. Maybe a tad cleaner here, the text especially on the Mate 60 Pro. But this is, I think, also nothing new that the natural zoom on the Mate 60 Pro is working a bit better if you be a bit closer up there. This is now interesting because now we are reaching 10 times zoom on both, and you see they're getting brighter even on the Mate 60 Pro there. I think the colors are pretty similar. Again, I think the more contrasty look I like a little bit better on the Magic 6 Pro, because it's a bit looking washed out already on the Mate 60 Pro at this 10 times zoom. If you take a look at the difference in terms of detail level, you can see again this washed out look on the Mate 60 Pro. So I think the Magic 6 Pro is showing up its potential there at least, and you can see it's like completely whitening the board here, where we have a little bit of a pattern of reflective material there that the Magic 6 Pro is also not perfectly showing there, but at least showing a little bit more than the Mate 60 Pro. So yes, in this terms of detail level, the Magic 6 Pro definitely is winning, and the closer we get, like, the more obvious it becomes. So this is now, even though we have a more zoomed in shot on the Mate 60 Pro, but the sensor is just simply better. We have more megapixels, more to work with, larger f-stop number there. The Magic 6 Pro is beating the Mate 60 Pro. However, I'm quite interested in the differences here, because I think we're using RYYB on the Mate 60 Pro. Otherwise, I don't know why it's so bright and still using ISO 125, where we have ISO 320 here on the Magic 6 Pro. Maybe it's the shutter speed. I don't have the shutter speed turned on for some reason there. We have 1/100th of a second, and here, let me find it as well. It's 1/50th of a shutter speed. So this might explain it as well. So we have a slower shutter speed on the Mate 60 Pro. That might also add a little bit of blur there. But yeah, again, you can see the reflective material. On the Mate 60 Pro, you can also see a little bit of the reflective material, but you can see the differences here. Yes, the Magic 6 Pro is winning in terms of zoom for sure. When it comes to close-ups, both telecameras have also a close-up mode. It's used as a super macro mode on the Mate 60 Pro, where the Magic 6 Pro doesn't have a super macro mode, but you can get close-up shots with the telecamera. And here you see that we're using 68 millimeters, but we have f2 2.6, so it's really using the telecamera, and we have 95 and f3, so it's also using the telecamera really. ISO 200, 320, a bit brighter on the Mate 60 Pro, and yeah, what we can see here is lots and lots of details. It comes because the Mate 60 Pro is over sharpening a lot. They're optimizing a lot for sure. I think it is a bit overexposing this shot. I like this more darkish kind of shot that we have on the Magic 6 Pro, but when we go into 100% and check it out there, it looks a bit softer. It's again maybe stylish wise, it's a feature of the Magic 6 Pro to be a bit softer there. And the Mate 60 Pro is sharpening things up a little bit better. Both are doing very, very good. I would prefer the Magic 6 Pro in this regard, but detail levels probably, if I have to crop into something, the Mate 60 Pro. Another macro shot using now the ultra wide angle here on the Magic 6 Pro, because this one can also act as a macro kind of lens. And the Mate 60 Pro going to the dedicated super macro mode that by default uses the 3.5 times lens there. And what you can see on first glance, it appears to be a bit sharper, but everything is a bit sharper, and we have the nicer background blur on the Mate 60 Pro. When I go in, you can see, yeah, you can see a bit of details, but it's a bit mushy. And why is it a bit mushy? Because what I did here is I was going to 53 millimeters. So basically what I did is press the 2 times crop button when the macro symbol appeared. And the macro symbol appears, and I think it is using then the ultra wide angle for this one. It might be the main camera sensor, but because we have f2 here. In any way, it is lacking a little bit of detail, where the Mate 60 Pro has the detail here, but it has a very shallow depth of field. So you can see some things in focus and the rest already out of focus. So this might be an issue there as well. Xiaomi solved it very, very nicely with the extended depth of field mode that tries to get everything. I'm not sure how they're doing this trickery. I'm not sure if they're taking multiple shots or they are combining multiple shots, the ultra wide angle and the telelens to get this more depth effect, but it's working a bit better than the Mate 60 Pro that has this shallow depth of field there for sure. And another shot to test out, because I tested out the Magic 6 Pro at 3.5 times, where it has only 2.5 times, and here I thought let's try both at 5 times. For some reason it's 137 millimeters on the Mate 60 Pro and 135 on the Magic 6 Pro. Maybe I was doing something wrong there. Again, we have a brighter picture and exposure on the Mate 60 Pro, and a bit washed out again, where the Magic 6 Pro has more contrast for sure. It's a bit darker and duller as well, as you see here, and a bit sharper again. So I think, yes, this 5 times zoom is more optimized for the Magic 6 Pro and works a bit better than the 10 times zoom, but it's over sharpening as well. You can see it here already with the bushes and so on. And the Mate 60 Pro is like a bit washed out already, and yeah, it's a bit brighter, so you can read the 240 a bit better, where it's like a bit darker there. Is it even 240 there? Or 249, what I see. This is also interesting. So it's here 240 that I saw, but maybe it's 249. So this also shows like the bit more resolution that the Magic 6 Pro is working with, a bit more pixels. Hard to show it every time, but accidentally awesome. I got a shot where I can show it to you, demonstrate it to you. Another macro shot just to show it to you. This is what you can get with the 3.5 times zoom, and this is what you get with the 2.5 times zoom on the Magic 6 Pro. So Magic 6 Pro, it is macro-like shot, I would say, where here it's a true macro shot. You get all the little details. And here with the ultra-wide angle, you get also all the little details. So I think the ultra-wide angle is more of a macro shot on the Magic 6 Pro. And another zoom test here to just show you again, the Mate 60 Pro is doing this overexposure all the time. And yeah, the difference is it's a bit maybe underexposed, a more contrasty look on the Magic 6 Pro. In terms of detail levels, both are on the same level there. We have here again 68 versus 95. And when we go further in, you can see it is again doing the same. And yeah, which one you like? Here it's a bit more readable, so the text processing on the Mate 60 Pro is a bit better, where here it's a bit harder to read on the Magic 6 Pro. So I think they have to optimize this as well a little bit. But yeah, the better sensor is in the Magic 6 Pro. It's just like the optimization is not on this level where I would say it is dominating the Mate 60 Pro. But it's definitely better, and it shows with those kind of shots. Yeah, so these are the daylight shots. What do you think about them? Let's take a look at portraits, and we start off with 2 times portrait. And no, I didn't switch accidentally to the black and white mode on the Magic 6 Pro. This is what I really got with the Magic 6 Pro. You can see, first of all, let's look at the 54 versus 54, f2, f2.4. More background blur on the Magic 6 Pro for sure. With the Mate 60 Pro, I don't know what's wrong there. I have to check again if you have to turn on a special effects mode. Probably no, circuits are turned on, so it has like the f-stop number a little bit turned down there. Maybe for realism, I don't know. In any way, we have ISO 400 on the Mate and ISO 500 on the Magic 6 Pro. Color-wise, yes, it's a win for the Mate 60 Pro. Much more natural colors. I'm not sure what's going on with the Magic 6 Pro. I think it's a bug where it desaturates everything, because for a split second it looked fine, and then it's getting into this here. So the AI is like doing some weird things. And I not only have this with the 2 times on portrait mode, but also with 2 times in normal mode. I had it few times that it just gets colorless for some reason. So a win here for the Mate 60 Pro, even though you can see how much heavily editing it does and sharpening things up. The eyebrows are redrawn, yes. It's not so unnatural as some others do it, but the eyes are also a bit redrawn and some sparkle put in and a bit sharpened up there for sure. But yes, the Mate 60 Pro is better here 2 times. It's not, both are not perfect here, for sure. This is now their dedicated tele lens, and keep in mind both can do macro kind of shots or very, very kind of shots, close-up shots there. Magic 6 Pro, both are very, very good there in this regard. I had a bit of difficulties aligning myself here on the Mate 60 Pro because it's so far low there on this camera ring, this tele lens, that it's getting a bit hard to align myself there, and I had to reposition slightly the tripod so I can still fit in here. Color wise, I still prefer the Mate 60 Pro there. The Magic 6 Pro optimizes itself or corrects itself there, but it's very, very contrasty. And yes, those white dots are like, my daughter decided to put half of her food in her hands and then clean up her hands on my shirt, my black shirt. This is why you see it there. Anyway, not zoom, let's go into 100%. That's what's going on here. There's a universe in my eyes somehow, or let's call the doctor, there's something in my eyes. The Mate 60 Pro for some reason recreated my eyes, and this failed, and the sparkle that it should create or details that it tries to create is like doing a weird effect there. And yeah, eyebrows are a bit soft there. We have bit different colors, where the Magic 6 Pro keeps it correct in terms of colors, but it's also redrawing the eyebrows, and it's like because of this very, very strong kind of contrast. Also my hair color is like reddish a bit more, where here's like more realistic there on the Mate 60 Pro. So color wise, yes, the Mate 60 Pro I think I would prefer there. The Magic 6 Pro is just like, forget about it. And you can see the fake background blur, even though it's adding way more than what the Mate 60 Pro does. The Mate 60 Pro, even like the little hair is still there, which is quite nice. It has like this gradual kind of, more natural kind of background blur for sure. has a weird going on in the Magic 6 Pro there. Then the Magic 6 Pro has also another 5 times portrait, and yes, I had to kneel down a little bit to get this in, because otherwise I should have planned it better. And the Mate 60 Pro doesn't have a dedicated button for this, but you can just slide in, and you can also get 5 times. And here, for some reason, if I go to 5 times, it's adding a lot of background blur on the Mate 60 Pro. Magic 6 Pro, you can see already there's weird stuff going on here with the, I think not really blurred out. So weird stuff going on with the edge detection. It's simply bad. And then we go in here, it's redrawing eyes as well, and everything's smoothed out there. I look like painted a bit. Mate 60 Pro, better. It's looking better, you have to say. The processing is better. You can see skin pores and so on. So it tries at least not to like smoothen everything out like the Magic 6 Pro does. But it's also not perfect, and it is, definitely heavily edited. But I would, again, prefer the Mate 60 Pro. But in all honesty, they are both not the best in terms of portraits. And if I have to choose Huawei or Honor for portrait shot, or taking the Oppo, the Vivo, or even the Xiaomi, I would rather take one of those than the Honor or the Mate, because they are not doing the best in terms of those portrait shots here, at least. So what do you think about the portraits, and which one is the winner for you? I'm leaning towards the Mate 60 Pro slightly there, because colors are more accurate and the cutouts are better. I think it both have a lot of things still to optimize, but the Magic 6 Pro is the most disappointing here, because it has the better sensor for sure for those kind of teleshots, but its processing is ruining it, in my opinion. Video night mode on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. Yes, it has a video night mode, 4K, 24 frames per second. Walking towards the light. How is my face exposed now standing under the light? How are the lights in the background doing there? And now I'm walking away from the light in the background. How's the reflection there on the lens? They had some issues with the Magic 5 Pro. I think they fixed it with the Magic 6 Pro, with this like kind of mirror effect around the lenses. Now I turned towards the light, the dark background behind me, and I'm using, as always, the internal mics. So what do you think about the internal mics here on the Magic 6 Pro? Now I'm using the Huawei Mate 60 Pro, and this one doesn't have a video night mode. I couldn't find anything there, at least. And yeah, walking towards the light, how is the performance here? We have a little bit of a smaller sensor here. The aperture is probably also wide open, just like on the Honor. What do you think about this one here? Maybe it switches automatically to 24 frames per second in this dim lit situation, but I'm standing under the light now, so there should be enough light there. How is the exposure on my face? How is stabilization, especially like the lights dancing in the background or not? And yeah, I'm walking there, light in the background. How does it look like? Is my face still exposed? And now I'm in the dark, turning around towards the light. So how well does this look like, and how well does it sound like? Because I'm still using the internal mics here on the Mate 60 Pro. Here we have the night photos, and what we can clearly see is a brighter picture again on the Mate 60 Pro, a bit more yellowish kind of colors, and I think the sky is a bit more bluish here. And actually the sky was a bit darker, so the Magic 6 Pro is a bit more realistic here in terms of colors. Also, like it's a bit too brightened up on the Mate 60 Pro. It doesn't look so much like nighttime. It looks more like the sun was just setting, and it's dark and the lights turn on. But actually it was night time, and this is what the Magic 6 Pro captured there. And I think the Magic 6 Pro has a bit more details there as well. You can see a bit of noise creeping in already on the Mate 60 Pro. Here the superiority of the Magic 6 Pro's larger sensor, and with I think the dual layer that they have there, is showing. Yeah, the fuel station is for some reason closing at I think 10 o'clock, and no one can go there anymore. Not sure what's wrong there. Maybe saving money, I don't know. Colors are better on the Magic 6 Pro, as I said. You can see clearly also here this advertisement board where the green of this football finale that is like, I think women's football in Germany that's going on there, is more correct than this like turquoise kind of color that we have here on the Mate 60 Pro. And yeah, the detail levels there, it's a bit softer still on the Magic 6 Pro, and it tries to sharpen things up on the Mate 60 Pro, but the Mate 60 Pro also has a bit of more noise and artifacts going on. But in general, it is, for this kind of sensor, doing a quite good job. But you can see here a little bit of the artifacts there. If I zoom in a little bit more, it becomes more visible, and here's a bit more cleaner there for sure. And yeah, but it is brighter, yes, on the Mate 60 Pro. When we take a zoom test now, this is like the 68 versus the 95. Both are really utilizing their telezoom lenses, which is quite nice. But you see the same problem that we had here with a little bit of fake colors there. You see it also here, but you can see here that it's also getting a slightly different kind of color balance there, white balance on the Magic 6 Pro. Again, overexposure, not overexposure maybe, but a brighter picture on the Mate 60 Pro for sure. I think the Magic 6 Pro is doing going a bit too dark here with this sensor, but nicely exposed here. And when you compare it here, 2.5 versus 3.5, which one is more readable? If I go like almost the same kind of thing, think it's the Mate 60 Pro there, but we have a bit more bluish kind of hue again here, which is a bit unrealistic because yeah, this is a bit better here on the Magic 6 Pro for sure. So colors definitely still, I think, would go for the Magic 6 Pro. And when we zoom in a little bit more, you can clearly see like this is now the 5x zoom on both. And by the way, they are using different kind of shutter speeds and different kind of ISOs. So this is why I think the Mate 60 Pro has our YYB sensor on the telezoom lens, because we have ISO 1250, 1/25th of a second that it used here, where we have 1/11th of a second, and we have ISO 3200, even though we have a larger sensor and a larger f-stop number at 5x zoom. So this is quite impressive that the Mate 60 Pro can perform the smaller sensor, smaller f-stop number, just have the ISO lowered there. Of course, ISO is just a gain kind of thing, but there were once the same company, so this is why I'm like impressed a bit. Let's take a look at the detail levels there. This is, like I said, 5x zoom option, and the Magic 6 Pro clearly optimized it, and it's like beating the Mate 60 Pro for sure. The Mate 60 Pro has the wrong colors. Look at the faces of the people there. Yes, those white faces girls are looking okay-ish. The black facing girl, it's a bit hard. The optimizations have some difficulties there for sure. The logos here down below, you can also show more details on the Magic 6 Pro. Also on the side here, the text is more readable on the Magic 6 Pro. Yes, the Magic 6 Pro is winning against the bluish kind of hueish Mate 60 Pro for sure. And yeah, this is also clear win for the Magic 6 Pro. And the more we zoom in, the more the win becomes clear for the Magic 6 Pro. This is now 10x zoom on both. And yeah, it is impressive. Yeah, it is doing a bit of fakery, and you can see the details look a bit weird there already also. And yeah, it's not perfect, but it's definitely more details than we have on the Mate 60 Pro for sure. That has also some issues there as well. Let's go to the ultra wide angle. What we see here on the ultra wide angle is the Mate 60 Pro again a lot brighter, and I think the Magic 6 Pro is doing it a bit too dark here. Before it was okay on the main sensor, but here it's a bit too dark in my opinion. And when we take a look at the detail levels and so on, what we can clearly see is they're very, very close together there, just like in daylight, and there are nuances that make it a little bit better. Like I said, a bit more brightened up. You see a bit more detail on the Mate 60 Pro actually. And also I think the HDR and lights are slightly different there, maybe a little bit towards the Magic 6 Pro. The algorithms are a tad better on the Mate 60 Pro. I know I'm 100% here, but if I zoom in a bit more, you can see there's a bit of text where here it's like a block basically. So yes, there is, let's go back there. There is definitely a bit more detail on the Mate 60 Pro. All the algorithms are a bit better, they're working, but HDR, look at this, is, I think, a win for the Magic 6 Pro. So in the end, it's equally good or bad in this case. But which one would you choose here? And then we have RAW shots. People are always asking about RAW shots, so I thought I will at least include one RAW shot here. And I like to take RAW shots in the night because then you see all the noise levels, noise performance, and the real colors. And especially at night times, it's a bit hard to take those shots. And you can see the Mate 60 Pro has a bit of an off-white balance because those lights are yellowish warm and it's a bit cooled down here. What we see also is a bit more, maybe a greenish kind of tint. This is why I think maybe there's also RYYB sensor included here. But what's interesting is the noise levels, and compare it with the noise level on the Magic 6 Pro. And you will see that there's much more noise on the Magic 6 Pro, especially color noise going on, that we don't see on the Mate 60 Pro. So does the Mate 60 Pro have the better sensor then? Even though it's larger on the Magic 6 Pro? I don't think so. It's just what I think so. It's the RYYB that we have on the Mate 60 Pro, and of course it's DNG. DNG files don't have so much EXIF data, at least they hide their EXIF data by default. So can I show you anything here in terms of f-stop number is 2, which is interesting because f-stop number I was expecting f1.4, largest aperture. Apparently there was enough light so that Huawei decided not to do it. And sadly, it doesn't show me the ISO level. Oh, it shows the ISO level there. Does it show the shutter speed? There it shows shutter speed as well. And let's do this here as well. Let's get all the data there. Shutter speed here, it shows it 0.03 seconds and 1/20th of a second. So it's also weird that it is showing it like this. Anyway, we have f1.4 like expected it on the Mate 60 Pro. The Magic 6 Pro is doing it. And what else do we have? ISO is 1338. So here we have now those levels. So you can see ISO is almost on par. And we have f1.4, we have f2 here. And we have a different shutter speed as well, which is quite interesting. So even when I'm looking at this, I'm still impressed by the Mate 60 Pro being so good. And I think without all this color noises there, you can also see there's a bit more detail as well. So yeah, the Magic 6 Pro really with its sensor there has, I think, a little bit to fight. Also in terms of sharpness there. I'm not sure if maybe the Mate 60 Pro is sharper already or the raw file is a bit sharpened up already, but yeah, look at this here and look at that. So yeah, it seems to me that the Mate 60 Pro has the better sensor than the Magic 6 Pro. Even though we have a larger sensor on the Magic 6 Pro, it's using f1.4. I think the RYYB technology is helping here tremendously for the Mate 60 Pro, but also in terms of detail level. Look at this, look at the details there. This is a tremendous difference, and I'm surprised that the Mate 60 Pro is so good. And I think I have to change my ranking and rank the Mate 60 Pro maybe a bit better than the Magic 6 Pro in this regard, or at least on par, because at the end we get almost the same kind of rendering there. And the nighttime photos are a bit better on the Magic 6 Pro. Nevertheless, selfies, like in daylight, I like the Magic 6 Pros a bit better. I think the effect here on the Mate 60 Pro with the blur looks a bit better, especially here, the bokeh balls, which is like a bit less there on the Magic 6 Pro. Detail level, however, when you take a look at here, again, it's like there's a bit of fakery on the Mate 60 Pro. And a bit grainy as well. It's redrawing my eyes. Yes, the Magic 6 Pro is not the best there. It's a bit soft there, and here it appears to be a bit more details there, but it's fake editing details there. And yeah, which one would you prefer there when you have to crop in? Yeah, maybe the Magic 6 Pro is a bit too dark, a tad too dark there, where the Mate 60 Pro is helping there a little bit with the brightened up front facing display. But yeah, Yeah, here the blurry background. This is a bit too. This is a bit too greenish. This is a bit too reddish. So yeah, you could argue that they're not doing the best their job there, but I would say, yeah, when I have to choose here, sharpening everything up there, and I like the Magic 6 Pros there a little bit better. And then we have another shot of the zoom lens, and there I want to demonstrate to you that the Magic 6 Pro, yes, it's a pretty good telezoom lens, and on paper it's very good, but the software is not there yet. If I zoom in here, this is I think 30 times zoom on both. Of course, the metadata is gone. 30 times zoom on both. This is what the Mate 60 Pro does by default. I didn't tap to. I think no, I didn't tap to focus, and it just created this. No, I tapped to focus actually on both. I tapped to focus on this bright area, so I get the exposure down. On the Mate 60 Pro, it worked without any issues. On the Magic 6 Pro, we have this overexposure here that is a bit bad, I would say. So at first glance, Mate 60 Pro looks better, even though it's very grainy at 30 times. But if I tap to focus and then slide the EV down, this is what I get with the Magic 6 Pro. And this is like so much better than what the Mate 60 Pro gets on first glance already. You can see we have this like a bit of haziness going on the Mate 60 Pro that is completely gone on the Magic 6 Pro. And I go in here, more details for sure, sharper, and even the text down below, logistics management and something you can almost read, where here it's like impossible to read. Yes, Magic 6 Pro, it has the better telezoom camera for sure. Ultra wide angle, again a bit brighter on the Mate 60 Pro, and here is where I think the Mate 60 Pro might be the slight winner in terms of this kind of shot. But you can see it's very soft here. It's a bit more detail there. This one is better. This one is a bit hazy there. So yeah, it's basically the same. Colors I think I like a bit better on the Mate 60 Pro because it's a bit too reddish here for some reason. There was no red light actually. This here is like a yellow light, and here it's making a bit more orangey kind of light. Yeah, which one would you prefer there? And the zoom shot here, quite interesting because the Mate 60 Pro makes this more yellowish orangey, and this makes it more red. Actually, it was more towards the Mate 60 Pro here than the Magic 6 Pro, but the detail level is like tremendously different. And this is like, yeah, it's not showing the details here, of course. This is 97 millimeter. So this 5 times, and this 3.5 times, sorry. 3.5 times, and this is 95. And f2, f3 actually. So yeah, so this is the 2.5 times sensor telesensor cropping into 3.5, and this 3.5 native on the Mate 60 Pro. A huge difference. But the Mate 60 Pro can also produce this here if you go into the dedicated night mode, and this is what you can get there. And then it's much closer to what the Magic 6 Pro can do. Also in terms of detail levels there, but again it's a bit more orangey, where actually it wasn't so orange, it wasn't so red, it was something in between. But the Mate 60 Pro is a bit more accurate there than the Magic 6 Pro. The night mode is tremendous on the Mate 60 Pro. You can see even the building here is like there suddenly, where it's like completely gone on the Magic 6 Pro. And if I turn night mode explicitly on the Magic 6 Pro, this is what you get. Do you see the difference? Yeah, this light is, someone turned the light off there, but nothing else changed, so there's not much of a difference there. And yeah, another night mode shot versus night mode shot, where the Mate 60 Pro again with the main camera sensor is beating the Magic 6 Pro, not only in terms of sharpness level, but also in terms of detail level. It's just simply, I think it's the RY by B that's helping the Mate 60 Pro there. We saw it in the raw files. I have to really go 1 point down with the Magic 6 Pro and go 1 point up with the Mate 60 Pro, because the Mate 60 Pro is doing a better job clearly at nighttime, and with the raw comparisons I saw it, there's no other way around it. So the Magic 6 Pro has to go down with the points of the main camera sensor, because it's like not so good there, and the Mate 60 Pro has to go up 1 point. to beat the Magic 6 Pro. This is my conclusion, at least, from those night photos. What do you think about those? Write it down in the comments. Let's come to the ranking and conclusion. And TLDR, the Huawei Mate 60 Pro gets 4.40 points and the Honor Magic 6 Pro gets 4.40 points. So we have a draw here. What has changed is the main camera photo quality is much better on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. I'm not sure if it's the new HarmonyOS 4.2 that I have it running there, but the sharpness is better, the colors are better for sure, and especially the RAW that I was like comparing with the Honor Magic 6 Pro shows so much more detail, so much more sharpness, less noise as well, especially at night, where we're just astonished by the result of the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. So yes, the Huawei Mate 60 Pro is a little bit better, 4.7 against 4.6 points. Ultra wide angle, I'm deducting 0.1 points for the Huawei Mate 60 Pro because it's basically the same as the Honor Magic 6 Pro. Sometimes the HDR is even better on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. Sometimes it is better on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro if you look at video mode and performance there, for example. Zoom camera photo quality is better on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. We have 4.4 points here, especially when it comes to the higher zoom ranges at night, but also at daylight. The larger sensor is way better there, though I think Honor can improve there a little bit more, especially with the larger zoom ranges and their processing, and especially also portrait mode, because this is one of the weak modes, because especially 2x portraits is totally weak, but also the other portrait modes are not like completely there. At least it should be much better. And the Huawei Mate 60 Pro in portrait modes is winning against the Honor Magic 6 Pro, but it's not enough for giving here zoom camera photo quality to the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. The Honor Magic 6 Pro, especially at nighttime and at the longer zoom ranges, is much better. Video recording quality is better on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro, not for the front-facing camera. I think there the Honor Magic 6 Pro has an advantage because the colors are more nice there, but it turns completely on upside down when you go to the back cameras, because there the Huawei Mate 60 Pro has the nicer colors and the Honor Magic 6 Pro is like overdoing it with punchiness in the colors there. They have to fix this for the video mode there as well. Autofocus performance is basically the same, nothing big different there. Front facing camera is better on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. It has autofocus, but also like I said, in video mode it's better, but video points we already gave there. But also in terms of night photos and details and so on, there's a little bit of too much processing going on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. It's still good, but the Honor Magic 6 Pro is a notch better there. Camera UI I like better on the Honor Magic 6 Pro. We have, for example, the possibility to quickly, when I go into portrait mode, to set a timer just with one hand, and also to turn it off again, where on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro, if I go to portrait mode, I don't have the option to quickly set up a timer. I have to go into a menu and a setting there and change it there, which is a bit of weird, and some things that Honor Magic 6 Pro with its camera UI is doing way better than Huawei is doing with their camera UI. Where Huawei has at its vantage point is extra features, NM recording, so an external card where you can record video files or record photos on, capture photos on, is there. Bluetooth recording, high quality recording with headsets is there. Honor Magic can also do Bluetooth recording, but not in this higher quality kind of mode. They don't have any special kind of thing there. This is why we have a little bit of a lower score there as well. And some other features that we have on the Huawei Mate 60 Pro that the Honor still lacks. So in general, we have like the same kind of points. Let's check out the ranking list. What does it mean for the ranking list? And that means, we have a shared fourth place. So as you can see here, first place is the Oppo Find X7 Ultra, second is the Vivo X100 Pro, the third the Oppo Find X6 Pro, and the third is the Xiaomi 14 Ultra as well, with the same kind of points. And then the fourth place is also shared Honor Magic 6 Pro and the Huawei Mate 60 Pro here, where not much has changed there. So it is still in the top, under the top 5, or both are under the top 5, very close together. You can see the strengths and weaknesses on both, and it is you cannot choose one over another. If you want to have better portraits, for sure, for now, Huawei Mate 60 Pro is providing this. Video Huawei Mate 60 Pro is providing this for you. If you want to have the better zoom, however, Honor Magic 6 Pro is way better there. If you want to have the better front-facing camera, the Honor is there. If you want to have an easier to use camera UI, the Honor is definitely there as well. So it is very, very close, as you can see here. How much is the difference to the Xiaomi 14 Ultra? It's the sensor. That is like the main sensor. That is like way better on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, the Licia 900. So this is the big gap that we have here. Also the Mate 60 Pro comes close, but it's not on the same level. Interestingly enough, ultra wide angle, they are almost equally good there. Xiaomi 14 Ultra is, I think, a bit wider there, but detail levels and so on are not so much of a difference. Interesting enough, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra has the better zoom camera photo quality. It has 2 tele cameras, so yeah, that's to be expected. Video quality is the same as the Huawei Mate 60 Pro, and here I think the Honor can improve definitely. If it gets the better colors there, then we can have at least the equality with the Huawei Mate 60 Pro. And autofocus performance is the same basically. Front-facing camera, Honor is dominating there currently, and the camera UI, I think, yeah, Honor could improve a little bit still there. There's some nice little features on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra that help a little with certain things. And in terms of extra features, I think Xiaomi 14 Ultra has lots of extra features there already baked in. And the only thing that's missing is like externally recording something. If it would be even USB-C recording, I would give it 4.5 in terms of extra features there. And I think Honor could learn a little bit about the camera UI and also some extra features from Xiaomi, like for example, saving presets in Pro mode would be very, very helpful. And yeah, some other tweaks with audio, for example, in video mode and such things, and maybe even focus peaking and zebras in video mode or movie mode or something like this would also help tremendously. That's it for this video. Here's my camera ranking, and yeah, what do you think about this? Write it down in the comments section. Which one is your favorite, the Huawei or Honor? And is Honor really now on the same level as Huawei, especially now as the Pura 70 is coming out or came out already, and probably will beat the Honor Magic 6 Pro, but we have to see. When I have the chance to get this device, I will of course test it as well. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, bye.